As Mayako walks through the streets of Lowtown towards the flea market, memories of the big storm flood her mind.
The big storm never happened. That's what they say. It's forbidden to speak of it. But some of us remember. I was too young to understand, too small to see the world collapsing around me. But I remember the smell, the air turning heavy, metallic, the way the sky, once black with the hum of machines, turned a strange, sickly green. They called it the big storm, as if it were a force of nature. But storms are unpredictable. This was calculated, measured, released at just the right moment.
Citizens remain calm. Crisis management in effect. Do not attempt to evacuate.
I know now why they did it. Why they decided that 95% of the world was unnecessary.
AI has surpassed human capability in every sector. We no longer require mass labor. We no longer require consumers. The human surplus is inefficient.
If we do not act, they will resist. They will demand a place in a world where they no longer serve a function. There is only one logical course of action.
The decision is made. The gas is released. Not in one city, but everywhere. A unified action. A single orchestrated extinction.
They didn't save me. I wasn't chosen. I was a mistake. A clerical error in the great extinction of humankind. They thought I was the child of one of the elite. I was taken to a secure underground facility, a police station with metal walls and cold air, where the most valuable individuals were given temporary shelter. But later, when they realized who I really was, just another outcast, I was discarded, thrown into the depths of the building, locked inside a chamber filled with others like me. The gas never reached us there. And when the doors finally opened, the world above was dead. They planned for survivors, not many, just enough to burn out in a few decades. A controlled decline, kept pacified with pointless work, government tokens, just enough to survive, never enough to fight. We are not citizens. We are a backup supply. Disposable bodies for cloning, for spare organs, for experimentation. Kept sterile, monitored, waiting for our inevitable extinction. That's the elite's world. You can always see it, no matter where you stand in Lowtown. It's designed that way, a reminder, a monument to what we'll never have. They don't eat government rations. They don't get tokens. They don't even grow their own food. It's made for them, designed for them. Lab-engineered nutrients, tailored for peak efficiency. Their city isn't just beautiful, it's controlled. Every street is mapped, every building optimized. There are no accidents, no randomness, no unexpected failures. Even their people, they aren't born. They're made, built for purpose, assigned from the moment their DNA is printed. Some will be leaders, some will be entertainers, some will be engineers, doctors, advisors, some personal servants, but none of them will ever wonder why. The new humans, designed, optimized, built for function, not freedom. Each one made for a purpose, each one believing this is how it has always been. Perfect efficiency, no resistance, no failure. The system perfected humanity by removing what made us human. And us, the ones they let live, they don't mind us. We serve as experiments, as data collection, human organ, and DNA backups. But if they ever need to, they can repeat the big storm.
And Mayako exhales, pushing the memories aside. Ahead the flea market looms. Time to forget. Time to keep moving. She quickens her pace past dull-eyed citizens, well-being officers watching from the corners. At the flea market, Mayako drifts from stall to stall, eventually buying onigiri from an old man, and then she stops. At a dust-covered stall, her eyes catch something, a strange, forgotten device. neglected and abandoned. An old man sits behind the table, barely looking up.
What is this?
No idea. Got a cable. Plug it in, find out. It's been here for years. Give me your onigiri and a token, and it's yours.
Mayako hesitates, then hands over her untouched food and swipes her bracelet for the transaction. She takes the device, more out of pity than curiosity, and walks away. She stops at a ramen shop, taking a seat. The device rests on the table as she waits for her meal. The air hums with quiet conversation and the metallic clink of chopsticks. Then a shadow looms over her. A humanoid, smooth metallic features barely human, approaches. Its mechanical eyes flicker as it stares at the device.
I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Where did you find it?
Flea market. Do you know what it is?
The humanoid nods, tapping its fingers. A compartment opens in its arm, revealing a small port. It connects the cable. A pulse of electricity flows. The screen flickers to life, static distorting before words appear.
It was used to store books before.
Mayako's heart skips a beat. Books, the past. There are no books in Lowtown. They were discarded as a useless waste of space.
There are a few titles left in its memory. Read them. Just don't let the well-being officers see you with it.
Where can I charge it?
Find me here, or check the old government panels in some buildings. Some still have hidden ports.
Mayako's fingers tighten around the device. She knows exactly where. She uses it daily to mute the propaganda feeds. And back in her apartment, the air is still. The government-controlled screen buzzes in the background, displaying forced smiles and system updates. Mayako kneels, removes a wall tile, revealing an old terminal. She plugs in the device. It hums, loading. Then a title appears. She clicks the first title, 1984 by George Orwell. Mayako leans back, her eyes scanning the words as they fill the screen. She whispers the thoughts forming in her mind. She reads without stopping. At the end of the night, she finishes the book and starts contemplating.
The world of 1984 is not unlike my own. A world where history is erased, where reality is rewritten, where obedience is survival. But there's a difference. Orwell's world was one where technology served as a tool for control, but humans still had a purpose. The party needed people to fight wars, to work, to manufacture consent. They controlled through oppression, surveillance, and fear because they still needed the human machine to function. But here, the system doesn't need us. In Orwell's world, they feared human potential. In mine, they erased the need for it entirely. They wiped out 95% of the population, and the few of us who remain, we're an afterthought, left to wither away, sterilized, controlled, stripped of purpose until we fade out. The party in 1984 rewrote history, but they still needed people to believe in their lies. My world took it further. No interrogations, no torture chambers, just silence. The outcasts are controlled, but also ignored. They work pointless jobs, receive government tokens, eat rationed food engineered to keep them passive. In 1984, the party used fear, war, and control to keep people in line. Thought crime was the ultimate sin, the crime of even considering rebellion. Here, rebellion is impossible, because there's no one left to rebel. Orwell's world had the thought police. We have well-being officers and drones. The outcome is the same. You obey or you disappear. They don't need to brainwash us the same way. They've designed our world where compliance isn't forced. It's the only option, the death of love. Winston was broken. tortured, forced to betray the one person he loved. In the end, he didn't just obey, he believed. Love, but it feels foreign, distant, meaningless. Love doesn't exist here. No one clings to another. No one whispers words meant only for one person. No one stays. People here don't fall in love. They don't connect. They don't even touch, unless forced to. It's not that it's forbidden. It's that it has no purpose. In Orwell's world, love had to be destroyed because it was dangerous. Here, it was never needed in the first place. They built this world so that love could never happen at all. Winston loved, Winston lost. I have nothing to lose. The party in 1984 controlled the past to control the present. Here, they erased the past to erase the need for a future.